Hey guys, AntVenom here, and welcome back to another Minecraft video. And today I want to show you guys some sort of random redstone. Oh my god, what is all this? This random redstone creation that I have made today. And I actually did quite a bit of live streaming with this, but I've done a few improvements to it since, like adding the colored road and all that. And for those of you who saw my live stream, it was a little bit complicated to actually follow this whole device and what it did, and a lot of people were kind of confused at the process in which I was going about making this. So I'm going to do a little bit of explaining in this video as well. I'm going to turn off my sound, and I'm going to hit the button here. So essentially what's happening right here is there's this little pulsar right here which is burning out these torches sequentially. It'll do this one, and this one, it'll just keep burning them out back and forth. And for whatever reason I'm able to use the repeaters in this fashion, but it's actually firing arrows out of these dispensers at about a rate of 4 per second, and it does this for about 25 seconds or so, or roughly. I haven't really gotten a complete count yet, but it goes for as long as this whole signal it goes until it actually ends up reaching this point right here. And I will wait just a second here so that can happen, and it goes to that end over there, and then these are all gonna drop and they absolutely get ravaged. Oh, and quite a few of them missed actually. I think that was due to lag. Maybe my timing is a little bit off. I think that happens when this drops too early. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set that one tick later. Because I think I was messing with the timing with it and all that, and I must have messed something up along the way. I must have done goofed. But anyway, so I'm going to set my sound back to like 15-ish. I want it to be fairly quiet because this is a really, really noisy machine. But essentially what just happened is, like I said, dispensers fired into all of these pistons right here. And the way that arrows actually settle into pistons, they lose a lot of their momentum when they land on there, but they don't lose total momentum. It's really kind of weird. So that when all these retract, they instantly drop to the ground, and then the force of the TNT will cause them to explode off in that direction. And when I actually show you the end result of this machine, you're gonna really see how far these suckers can go. They actually go for about 200 blocks at a maximum, and yes, that is a cow's head off in the distance, because this whole device was, like I said, partially made on a live stream, and that was a suggestion from a viewer on the live stream, as well as this lava wall here, to set all of the arrows on fire. And setting the arrows on fire makes them a lot easier to see. But anyways, so let me follow the path of the device here just to try and give you guys a good explanation as to how this works. So when I start, I hit this one button right here, and I follow the line all the way down this way. And I specifically color-coded the floor to try and make it at least a little bit easier to follow. It doesn't really make it like perfect or anything like that, but I figured this would be for the best anyways. So the redstone, it activates, comes through here, up and over this way, and into this memory cell right here. Now essentially what a memory cell is, for those of you who don't know a ton about redstone, it'll either hold redstone power on this torch or this torch. And when you apply redstone power, like to the back of this side right here, when you apply power to this, it's going to unpower this torch, which is going to power this torch. And it's not going to go back and forth like a clock or anything, because that's why it's called a memory cell. It'll hold power. This is how people are able to make like complex systems with RAMs and programs and stuff, because they're able to use many, many, many programmable memory cells. But anyways, so that's getting into a whole nother topic. So essentially what happens is this side turns off, and this side right here, and then this little doohickey right here turns on. And essentially what that does is it will start up this whole machine right here, because essentially the way a pulsar works is all of these are hooked up. I don't know exactly how the pulsar works. All I do know, however, is that with redstone applied to this side right here, it's forcing this entire line on, which is basically jamming it. So it's not allowing any of these to fire at all. But as soon as this little bit turns off, this whole thing is going to be allowed to fire, and that'll start the first phase. Now the second thing that this does, like I said, once this little doohickey turns on, this will turn on, which will turn on this device right here. Now you guys have probably noticed I have a bunch of red wool everywhere. Those are where all of like the devices are, so you don't really need to worry about anything else. Like, if you download the map, which the link is going to be in the description, then you guys will get a general idea as to how I've organized things. But anyway, so essentially I've just made a pulsar right here, which you notice the signal pulsed all the way through all of these repeaters, and then into this bit right here. Now let me go ahead and let me turn on the machine once more, and yes, I'm going to leave the sound on for this one. Yeah, it's pretty brutal. But anyway, so you can see the signal has already started down there, and this has started right here. Now, when the signal comes all the way to the end, it's going to repower the side, which is going to reflip the memory cell, because like I said before, when power gets received on an unpowered side, then this side right here and this bit right here is going to unpower. This bit is going to power, rejam that, and it's going to send a signal down this way. So the signal is getting pretty close to the end here. Oh crap, I should probably set TNT really quick. I almost screwed that up really badly. I did that in the actual previous recording. But anyways, so it rejammed that. It set off the TNT right there. And then it set all of those astray. And it is an absolutely fantastic machine. But well, the way the end of the machine works here, like I said, this gets powered. And it sends a signal into here, into this device. And this is a device that at least I figured out. I didn't create it, but it's a device that I figured out. It essentially, like, if you hit a switch or something like that, let me see if I can try and get this to work here. Let me see if I can do this. Pay attention to those two torches right there. You notice that both of those torches are on and then that one's off. Since both of these are on, or at least one of them are on at any given time, this is going to remain off. But if I go ahead and I replace the torch right here, you notice they're both off. And because there's no power on this stays on for a set amount of time, which, as you can tell, powers this whole thing up just for long enough so that these pistons right here will stay retracted long enough to allow all of these arrows to drop. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to activate the machine one more time here in just a second, assuming that I have enough arrows in all of the dispensers, which I do, so I should be all set. Let me go ahead and let me place TNT back in the whole machine here. And by the way, like I said, these fire at about a rate of 4 per second, which essentially throughout one firing course, so like within the 25-30 seconds or so that these are firing, they all together fire out a little over 700 arrows, and most of them stick to this. I'd say about 90 to 95% of them stick to this, and then about 80 to 85% of them actually fire, because you notice there was a lot of arrows stuck right there before. That's because some of them do fall and they do end up hitting the platform, and arrows that are already stuck on something and not in midair won't be affected by the TNT at all. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit the switch here. And the reason why I have this whole machine set to 25 seconds-ish is because arrows will only stay, like, in existence for a minute. So as soon as they've been fired and as soon as they're stuck in something, they'll only stay for a minute. So I don't want them to stay for too long. Like, I don't want them to land and me not be able to go over to the crash landing site in order to check them out. But anyway, so like I said, the signal is going to be, it's about 10 seconds out or so. So I'm going to head over to the cow set over here so we can actually get a good demo of the arrows landing. And we're landing on sunset here, so this is probably going to be a good time to end the video here pretty soon. So the arrows are going to be firing here in just a second. Oh my goodness. Gotta hit F. Oh my god. This is so amazing. You guys see that? I don't think my game really lagged much at all. Like, absolutely ravaging the side of that hill. If this was like all flat land and it was a giant village or something like that, this would be absolutely amazing. Let me set the brightness to bright here so you guys can see everything. So yeah, I mean, arrows go all the way out this far. I mean, even one landed right here. I'd say this is really about the limit they'll go out. If I have the repeaters on the end of the whole cannon set to a slightly different time, like I did towards the beginning. I believe it was probably the previous recording that I did, or maybe this recording. I'm not really too sure. But anyways, they can land out as far as this. And if I hit F3 here, notice my Z-axis. It's 722, and then it's going down right now. And when I get back to the beginning, it's going to be just under 500. So these things are getting fired over 200 blocks. So yeah, it is really, for 8 pieces of TNT, it packs quite a freaking punch. Well, okay, maybe not, yeah, okay, less than 500, so it's going about 232 blocks or so. Chicken, how did you get up here? Go away. You do not belong on this cannon. At least you're not a cow. At least you're not like that cow sit over there that got absolutely ravaged by all of those arrows. But anyways, guys, if you want to see the original video that this was concepted from, like the original idea that gave me the idea to soup up and a super amazing redstone device to do all of this, be sure to check the link in the description. And as well, if you would like to download this map, be sure to check the link in the description as well, because I'm going to provide the download along with this chest with all this TNT and all these arrows in here, so you guys can give it a try for yourself, even though in creative mode it's not really necessary. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed this particular video, and I hope you've learned a little bit about redstone today. But anyways, my name is AntVenom, and I bid you all farewell. Chicken, say thanks so much for watching. Or something. I don't know. Anyways, guys, yeah. Thanks so much for watching. I don't think a chicken would have the vocal capability to say that. So I just killed that chicken in vain. Wah.